Hello, YouTube friends. Carrie Knowles here, the Daydreamer. How are you? It has been quite a little while, a few months since I've been on, and I've been having some inspiration lately about some videos to make for you guys. I've just been kind of living my life, manifesting and hiking. I started hiking again last week for the first time this winter. I did have a difficult winter. I had pneumonia. I started teaching at a school and then got sick from the kiddos. But other than that, I've been working on my master's degree. I've been teaching. I started hiking. I hope all is going well with you guys. And I just had some inspiration for several videos. So I'd like to kind of try to make this more consistent, although I'm not very good at it. But I do have a library with some videos from the past couple years that you can go back and look at regarding manifesting and marketing and photography. So if you're looking for those resources, feel free to go back through my videos. But today, the inspiration I got for you guys was to make a video about how to manifest from survival mode fast, okay? If you're just getting into manifesting, you might be thinking, okay, who are these clowns talking about manifesting, living their dream life? Sure, they can do it because they have all kinds of money and social media followers and all of these things. Speaking of social media, I haven't been on, as you can see, for a few months on YouTube, and I think I have a marketing video about how I still get clients when I take months off of social media. So no, we don't need to have followers or money or any of these things to get started manifesting. Okay, that comes later. So I was a single mom living in government housing. Not maybe, I don't know, 8 years ago. Not that long ago, really. So you've come to the right place. You've got the right girl. And I want to try to help you come out of that kind of survival mode and into your manifesting mode. All right. So that you're one of the people that people are looking at and thinking, how is she manifesting? Right. So you're going to become that. So here we go. I have 4 steps. I'm going to give you the 4 steps because if you think you can do it on your own, then sayonara, you can keep going. However, this is going to be kind of a lengthy video because I'm going to go through each of those steps with exact examples. Because if you're in survival mode, there's things that you might not have that you can't even think about manifesting because you don't have proper food or housing, or you're worried about paying the rent, right? Or you don't even have gas in your car, okay? So I'm going to go through the first steps of how to get manifesting when you don't have that much, right? Okay, so number 1 is stop talking negatively about your situation. All right, so your thoughts become your reality. So if you're thinking negatively and speaking negatively about your situation to other people, or about the economy, or about politics, or about the world in general, your negative thoughts are your belief system. And the words you speak represent the things you're thinking. So, number 1 is to stop talking negatively about your situation. Number 2, be grateful for what you have now. We might think, oh, we have no money. But really, nobody has no money. I'm sure you can have a penny in your wallet, or there's a quarter in your couch, or on the floor of your car. There's probably change somewhere. So even if you have, like, let's say you have a negative bank account, if you have an overdraft protection of $100 to $500, you have access to some kind of resource that you can go out and buy a loaf of bread. So the odds that you have nothing are probably pretty slim. But whatever it is you do have, whether you have clothes on or access to food from like the government, or a family member is letting you stay there, whatever it is you do have, you want to start being so totally grateful for this, and not pretend grateful, like really grateful in your heart that you've been provided. These people are helping you, whether it's government programs helping you, friends and family are helping you, whatever it is, or it's the bank that has that overdraft that's helping you today. Don't overlook or take for granted any kind of help that you're receiving. So number 2 was to be grateful for what you have right now, like this right now. That's it. Number 3, imagine the end result of what you want. So you may have heard different quotes about imagination. One that I like is from Einstein. Imagination is the preview of life's coming attraction. And that's 100% true. Whatever you have in your life right now is because you imagined it previously in the past. And whatever you want to have in the future, you need to imagine now. So your life right now represents your past thoughts, beliefs, and imagination. You want to change to move forward into something, a better position, then you need to start imagining a better position. So I'm going to take you step by step on how to do that, but I'm just going through the steps in case you wanted to watch a 8-minute video and be done with me. Number four, and I'm not editing this, so it's not going to have any fancy numbers. So number 4, do your part. So this is like the action part. If you've been researching manifestation, it says they have to have action. So number 4 is do your part. So how do you, what part can you take if you have nothing? Go about your life, apply for jobs, apply for programs, apply for school, work the job you have, and take any inspired you action to get a better job or to start a business or to start a YouTube channel. Whatever resource you have available to you now, if it's government programming, if it's someone's offered you a job to walk their dog or babysit, or any inspired action that comes your way, and you're gonna start getting more synchronistic events and more opportunities as you become more grateful. They're just gonna start showing up. I like the quote from Oprah: preparation meets opportunity. So this is you preparing for the opportunity because they are gonna start coming your way if you take these 4 steps. So just to recap before I go into an in-depth explanation of how to do this when you don't have the things you need. So 1 was stop talking negatively about your situation. 2 was to be grateful for what you have now. 3 was to imagine the end result of what you want. And 4 was to do your part. Take action, take inspired action. All right? All right, so now we're going to start with the basics. Number 1. You need to get to where you're going. So let's say you have $5 for gas. So number 1, we're going to start talking about, I'm going to take 3 examples of how to do this and take you step by step for each example. So the first one I'm going to give you is you want gas to put in your car to go somewhere. All right? So the first example is going to be a full tank of gas. We're going to manifest a full tank of gas. Okay? So the first step to do this would be stop talking about the price of gas. Stop talking negatively or positively about gas. Gas just is. It's a resource. It's a commodity that's available to you. You have access to this resource at all times. You may just not be aware of it yet. So if you have $5 and you're embarrassed because you're going to get $5 worth of gas when everyone else is filling their tank with $50, you're going to keep manifesting $5 for gas. So what you want to do is be super grateful. Ignore everyone else around you. Stop being embarrassed, okay? Go in, pay for your $5 as if it's $500, and you're filling your tank and getting a credit card from the gas station, and now you have $450 for gas in the future, and you just put $50 in your gas tank. Whatever it takes, for you to think of this. That's how you want to go about this. You want to be living as if it's the best thing ever. That $5 in your gas tank is the best thing ever, okay? Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about the people that you might be embarrassed asking for $5 in gas. Just go get your $5 in gas. Be grateful. Okay, so that was number 1. Stop talking about the price of gas. Number 2, be grateful for this resource, whether you have the $5 or the $50. Be completely grateful. You're so grateful for $5 of gas, and it's $5 is probably like 50 miles, I want to say. So 50 miles that you can drive, right? Maybe you can get yourself an Uber Eats account or a DoorDash account, and you have $5 in gas and you can drive 50 miles, and you're probably going to make double that, right? Number 3, this is the most important part, okay? When you are falling asleep at night, imagine yourself paying $50 for a full tank of gas, pumping the gas, and imagine that your dashboard reads that you have a full tank of gas. So however your car reads when you have the empty, quarter of tank, half a tank, 3/4 tank full. So however your dashboard reads that in your car, this is what you want to imagine while you're falling asleep. And I'm telling you, the money for the gas is going to come so quickly. Or people have literally just given me put gas in my car that I've driven, or the money just shows up. I mean, maybe you'll win a scratchy if you pay $1 for a scratchy. I don't know. But crazy things will start happening. You don't need to know what's going to happen. All you have to do is imagine the end result. All right? And then I'm not going to talk a lot about number 4. So number 4 was go do your part. So you're doing your part. So you're going to go about your life and drive your little 50 miles and just watch the money show up. Okay? So that's gas. So the second example I'm going to give you is food. So let's say you're really worried. You don't have a lot of food every day. You're wondering where your food's going to come from for your kids. Maybe you're in that income bracket where you don't qualify for government programs for food, but maybe you're embarrassed to go to a food kitchen or a food pantry, or maybe you don't qualify for anything. You're middle class, but you are paying all your money in rent and cars, and you just don't have a lot of food. All right, we're going to repeat the same steps, okay? Number 1, what is number 1? We're going to stop talking about food. We're going to stop talking negatively about the price of eggs. We're going to stop talking negatively about the grocery store prices going up. We're going to stop going on rants and raves about the economy. No, 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 okay? We're not doing that anymore. We don't care. If you want to pay $10 for eggs, go buy eggs. If you don't. That's the end of the story, all right? So that's number 1. Number 2, be grateful for any food you have now, any food you get. Let's say you have a loaf of bread. Toast that piece of bread and just enjoy it like it's the best thing ever. All right? And the more that you do this, again, food's going to start showing up in abundance. If you believe that food is accessible to you because you're born here on earth and you deserve to eat, then food is going to start showing up. Okay? God created us to eat, to live here on planet Earth, and to eat the food that is available to us. You need to believe that about yourself. That's what you were born to do. Live and eat, and that's what you get to do. Okay? 3, we're falling asleep again. Okay, this is called SATS. If you see this on YouTube, it's called SATS. I can't remember why. SATS. You'll have to look it up. But manifesting while you're falling asleep. It's referred to as SATS. I forget the acronym, but we're falling asleep. We're manifesting food. Imagine the entire scene, okay? Before you go to sleep, make your grocery list, your menu. What do you want to eat that week? Imagine you're in the grocery store while you're falling asleep, filling your grocery cart full of healthy organic food. I'm looking over here because this is my laptop with all my notes, just in case you're wondering. But you're falling asleep, you're filling your grocery cart with food, your favorite foods, your healthy food, your organic food, vegan food, whatever you eat, whatever you want to eat, you're getting it. You're checking out. You're paying. Imagine you're scanning the food. Imagine you're paying. You're loading your car with the groceries. You're unloading the groceries when you get home. You're putting away food in the fridge and in the cabinets. Then you're snacking on your food. You're cooking your food. Imagine this whole thing from beginning to end while you're falling asleep. And a couple days later, you're just going to find yourself in a grocery store doing exactly that. You don't need to know where the money's going to come from, where the food's going to come from. I went a whole week. Sometimes I conduct experiments on myself. I went a whole week without buying any food because people bought it for me. I was like, there's another manifesting technique called asking questions, ask formations. So I would just ask myself, I wonder who's going to buy me food today. I wonder who's going to pay for my dinner today. And people were buying me Starbucks. People were taking me out to eat. People were inviting me over. I didn't pay for any food for like a week. Once you start doing this and it starts getting normal, then you don't have to do it anymore. But you want to do this, you know, for a little while until it becomes normal that you take food for granted, like it's available to you. Gas is available to you. Food is available to you. There's no questions asked. Okay. Number 3, rent. Okay. Let's say you're behind on your rent and you're like, oh my God, okay, it's summer. So we're going to imagine this whole scene. It's summer and you're worried that you might be kicked out of your apartment by winter and have no place to live, whether you're alone or you have kids or you have a dog or cat, whatever. You're like, worrying is for a whole nother video, but you want to try to not worry. So we're in the moment. We're thinking about right now. You're in your apartment right now. Nothing has happened. All right. Most of the times we're worrying about something that's never happened and is never going to happen. So nothing's happened. You're in your apartment. You're safe. You're warm, whatever. But you're worrying about this because you're behind on rent. Whether you're a month behind, 2 months behind, 3 months behind, it doesn't matter. What's our step number 1? Our step number 1 is we're no longer talking negatively about our rent. We're not telling people we're behind on rent. We're not saying our rent's too expensive. We're not talking about the economy. We're not talking about the housing market. We're not talking about a housing shortage because that stuff doesn't exist for you. You always have an apartment. You always have housing. You can move anywhere you want in the whole entire world. It doesn't matter. Okay, so that's number 1. We're not talking about those things. 2, be grateful for the apartment you're in now. If you don't have your own apartment and you're with a family member or a friend or in a shelter, whatever it is, be 100% grateful for it. You have to live in the spot that you want to be in. So if you want to be in a nice apartment where you're grateful, you have to be grateful now. So whatever situation you're in, I know however hard it is, I've been there, you have to be grateful for it now. And not fake grateful because this witch on YouTube is telling you to be. No, grateful in your heart that you have a bed or you have a place to sleep or you have water or you have a blanket, whatever it is. I mean, Eckhart Tolle talks about being on a park bench. So there are YouTubes about that as well. Maybe you're sleeping in your car. I've slept in my car voluntarily because I wanted to take a road trip around the country and didn't want to pay for an apartment for a few months. So I did SUV van life. Whatever situation you're in, the only person judging you and punishing you is you. So be grateful for whatever that situation is now. And what's the third one? We're imagining the end result. How do you do this when you're behind on rent or you don't have an apartment? All right, this is the one that can be tricky and this can be the toughest, all right? But I'm going to walk you through it. The best way to do this is, so our initial scene was it's summer. You're behind on your rent. You want to make sure in the winter, this could be different for you if you live somewhere else. I live in a place where there's 4 seasons, so this is just hypothetical, but it will still apply. You want to make sure that you're warm and safe and cozy this winter. You don't want to have to worry about it, but you don't know how you're going to get from A to C, all right? Because we skip B. You can go back a few videos where I talk about A, B, C. We're skipping B. We don't care about B. A, you're behind on your rent. C, it's a winter and you want to be in a safe apartment. All right. So what you need to do when you're falling asleep. When you're falling asleep, you're imagining that it is now winter. All right. I'm going to read this on my screen, so I'm going to be looking this way. You are so cozy and warm in your apartment, watching the majestic snow falling outside the window with a cup of hot cocoa in your hand and your cat snuggling in your lap. Imagine you have a snow day off and you get to spend time with your kids in the same safe sanctuary that you live in. When you do this, you're assuming that your rent was paid for all the months in between summer and winter. And the universe has to comply to make this happen. All right? So you can take this scene and apply it to wherever you are in the world. Just change it. But because there's always an August and there's always a December, right? So however that fits into where you live. But I typed this all up so that I could read it to you, because this is literally I'm telling you exactly what I've done. Look, I'm living in this barn dominium. This apartment was a barn and it was renovated into an apartment, like a tiny house, because you can see I have the spiral staircases going up to my loft. I have a bedroom downstairs, bathroom, laundry room. I have a laundry room because I put that on my list. I manifested a laundry room, bathroom, kitchen, loft. All right, I literally manifested this exact apartment. I can do that in a video on that another time. But how I manifested in the past, if I'm behind on rent and I want to be in the same place, instead of imagining, oh my God, I'm going to be kicked out. Because when you worry about being kicked out, you're going to get kicked out because you're imagining getting kicked out or evicted, however you want to say it. No. Imagine that you're here during that time, whether it's 6 months from now, 12 months from now, a year from now, you're there. All right. Those are all my steps from going from survival mode to manifesting mode. All right. I hope that those are productive tips for you. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. If it works for you, put them in the comments. I am going to give you a bonus tip because I have a video on this as well. The bonus tip is to draw what you're trying to manifest. Okay, draw the full tank. And I've done all these. Everything I tell you in a video, I've done. Okay, draw the full tank of gas. Draw the food you want to eat. Draw yourself in the apartment that you want to stay in or move into. Draw your cat on your lap. Draw your hot cocoa. Draw the snow. Draw whatever it is that you want to draw. Draw the staircase. Draw, draw your kitchen with the food in the same kitchen where you want to be in 6 months. All right. All right. I'm so happy I got to come on and make this video, and I look forward to making many more, and hope you have a great day. Remember, life is a sweet dream, and we are the daydreamers. Bye.